Welcome to the show, Paranormal Parley, chat to make you glow. Talking food and sometimes rude, however the live stream rolls. Amazing mods with lightning rods to keep out all the trolls.
Hey. Let me get some music on. Let's hope StreamYard actually behaves itself tonight. And I can keep comments. Right, let's see who's here. Let's get to the top. It's working so far, so good. It's working. Sandra Banana Hammock Peachy first in. Woo! Caroline, we're at the end of that. Cree, lovely. How are you? Good to see you, sweetie. Caroline here. Awesome, Caroline. CPR, Commonwealth Paranormal Researchers. Just tripped over that when I was saying it. Good to see you. Let's see. Pomp's in the house. Hello, Pomp. Yeah, I don't mind what we talk about tonight. I've got to be honest with you guys. Normally I have 2 or 3 hours sleep before my middle of the night live, and I haven't tonight. So you lot can drive. You lot normally drive anyway. I'm not happy to talk about anything, but just not the drama. I'm tired of the drama. Carla not staying. I hope you're okay, sweetie. I know you're going through stuff at the minute. So love to you. Oh, just generally, Pom. Nothing specific. I'm just. Do you know this? I mean, sometimes it's relevant. It is, and I get sometimes it needs to be covered. But it's supposed to be a paranormal community, and sometimes it's just not about the paranormal. We just need to get back to the paranormal topics. And I need to get the content out to sort of help with that. We all do, I think. That's awesome. Sorry, my phone's going to go nuts now. I'll just put it a bit further away. Hey, Kat. Good to see you, darling. Blanky hellos are fine. The intro is so on point. I'm actually working. It's one of the reasons I haven't got any sleep. I'm actually working on a new intermission video. And I'm loving some of the. I'm also working on imagery at the moment when I do it that I can use for inspiration for artwork. Because I need to get my artwork up and running again. And every time I sort of come up with some images, it's like, oh, yeah, that'll make a good picture. So I'm going to be busy. Hope I'm not missing anybody. I'm distracting myself. Hey, Wisdom went live during my early evening tonight. I actually got to sit in his live. I was lurking because I was indigent, but yeah, do that more often, Wiz. Because I'm usually asleep. Because he hits that time zone when, under normal circumstances, I'm sort of, out completely. So I'm just going whoop whoop. Good morning. So when do you sleep? So I sleep. I mean, I rarely leave the house at the minute, and I'm because I'm self-employed. I don't have to go out anywhere. So because a lot of my channel is American. Since I started the channel, I've been on funny hours, but it doesn't matter. I power nap rather than sleep through the night. Sleeping more through the night at the minute because of being poorly, but I did have a sleep this afternoon. It's not that I haven't slept today. So Caroline is indeed the shit. She's awesome. It's an expression pomp. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. I struggle sometimes. So it's been a while. I have to confess, it's been a while since I actually got really excited about doing some artwork. So some of the things I've planned, I showed you guys the cover to the magazine on. When did I last go live? What day is it? Wednesday. Tuesday. I showed you the cover to the fantastic magazine. That was me drawing. I miss most of these lives without paranormal debunking community because I'm on Eastern Standard Time and I have a job, can't look at my phone. But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, this I used to do 2 nights a week to hit Eastern. Because I kind of, well, it was Crow that shouted me out to start the paranormal channel. So that's kind of the side of the community that I sat as a sub, let alone as a channel. So, but I just can't manage 2 middle of the night lives every week at the minute. But I've kept my Wednesday night lives. Do you know something? I miss it. I miss doing the drawing lives, but my laptop will not handle the camera right now. I would be on camera for the live streams generally if it would handle it. I am looking into getting a proper desktop computer, but it'll probably take a couple of months because I need to look at what I actually need first. I've had some help with that, and then I need to sort of drum up the pennies for it. But yeah, I miss doing it. I mean, there's so much artwork I'm about to do. I mean, I can film myself doing it, put it on the art channel, but I can't do it live at the minute. Pinky, hello. Good to see you, darling. How are you doing? I love when people are creative for me, but I really love other people's art. Also amazes me. Can't wait to see when you get your creative juices. Yeah, it should be pretty soon. I have started doing the drawing. And I will put some of them. I'll put some of them in Patreon, and I'll put some of them on the art channel as well. I might put 1 or 2 in members as well. I just wish I could do it live. I wish I could do the art streams again, but it just buffers. It just doesn't work. If I can find a way of doing it, I'll go back to doing at least 1 art stream a week. But to be honest, I love watching people do it as well, even though I'm an artist. You know, I know what I can do, and I love it when people do stuff that I don't do, if that makes sense. just because I do it doesn't mean I can't be in awe of other people. What kind of paranormal things are you hoping to see again? I have long said that I would love to see more than just um, ghosts, and I mean, all sorts of topics. I mean, I'm going to be doing the Chariots of the Gods series. I'm starting to cover other topics, and I do like my history, so I love looking back at how, from doing the history debunking, sort of looking back at how people viewed the paranormal in the past and why they did. But I'm interested in all sorts of topics, especially if there's a history connection to it. And I'm pretty open to all of it. I'm not saying I blindly believe everything. I don't. I do like things to be thought about properly. But I am very open to people talking about anything. And it was one of the things that the Believe in Me project was about, because I mean, I've had my paranormal experiences, and can some of them in debunks? Yeah, I've debunked some of them, and some I haven't. I can see people could debunk them, but I have several which I'll be covering. I've already started one video that I just can't debunk it. But I don't tend to think. Here's this is a simple way of putting it. And I think Cree's on the same page. I think, where, for example, I've had an experience where I've seen what people would call a full body apparition. That doesn't mean I automatically assuming it was the ghost of somebody who died in the past. Could have been. It could be some sort of, I don't know, image that's sort of lingering over. I don't know what it is. That's the point. And I don't like that pre-assumption that, say, the voice or an image or an experience is automatically somebody who's passed on. I think there's so many other possibilities. And that's not me talking crazy, because I actually think a lot of things will be explained over time. We just haven't considered them yet. Well, who is here? Blah, 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 Sky. Yeah, if I can find a way of doing it, say, of doing it hooked up to my tablet or something, I'll do it. But even my phone, but certainly my my laptop won't cope with it. The sad thing about this laptop, it doesn't have its own camera. If it had an inbuilt camera, this wouldn't be a problem. But it just all snarls up and buffers and hello, James. Hello. James is here. In the chat. Where's Raven? I don't know. I haven't seen Raven all day, actually. Hope she's okay. I usually see her around, and yeah. I might shoot a little message to her after the live just to make sure she's all right if we don't see her in the meantime. Wayne? How's Wayne? Hope you're okay, darling. Sandra says, don't know if this will class as paranormal or my stupidity. My phone has a case on it with zipper. Last night, as shift winds down, I got pinky ring caught in it. RN had to rescue me. That's the sort of crap I do. That is the sort of thing I do. Stupid little things like that. Exactly, Sarah. You can say you saw it, but it doesn't mean... Yeah, I would like to see more people... It's going to make me unpopular with one or two of the investigators, but I would like to see more investigators going in. Not saying that I'm disbelieving the evidence, because I've had enough experiences myself to know that things can happen. But it's the jumping to conclusion that a haunting, in inverted commas, is somebody who's passed over. I think sometimes, by the way, I do believe that can happen. I've seen my dad. I've told people this. I've seen my dad. So it's not that I don't believe that people who've passed over can't communicate, but it doesn't mean that that's what it is. I don't know if I've told this story before, but I had it's about 20 years ago when I was doing a market in Tynemouth. I had a lovely couple next to me, Londoners, and they'd moved up here to do the markets and things, and one of them, I can't remember if it was him or her, that had a brother who lived in Blaydon, which is just south of the River Tyne. And they had a lot of land on the property, and they sold antiques and collectibles and stuff. But on this property, they also had this sort of big shed, like massive. I think it used to be a sawmill. I think he said, used as a sawmill. Anyway, it was obviously empty, and so they were using it to actually sell furniture from. And they were both very down to earth and very sort of hardworking, just no nonsense people. And I remember the guy was called Ian, and Ian saying that he actually walked into the warehouse one day, and instead of seeing all their furniture and everything there, he saw it. Literally, he was just walking into it as though it was still a sawmill, and they were all wearing the olden clothes, etc. It was like he'd gone back in time, and he said it only lasted 30 seconds or something, and then suddenly it went back to normal. So I think more things, and I've heard a few people tell stories like that, and I'm telling that one because, yeah, he wouldn't make that up. He would just, if somebody had told him that, he'd have gone, nah, come on. I think we need to be looking at what things are. You are awesome, sir. Pinky, you are even more awesome than me. I don't think I'm awesome, but thank you so much for the $4 New Zealand dollars. Thank you. Royalty in the house. King Jimmy's in the house. Drum Blanket, hello, sweetie. How you doing? How are you? I'm drinking coffee because I haven't had any sleep before this live. Yeah, please. We always like it when skies. Yeah, James is right. It's such a limited theory. And I'm not saying it's not important. I'm really not. I don't want anybody having a go at me thinking, oh, well, ghost hunt. It's important. But there's so many other things that are important as well. And I wish I've never had a scientific brain. It's always been a creative brain. Even when I was academic, that's how I got through it. I was creative. But it's I wish I understood, even on sort of idiot terms, I wish I understood quantum physics, because I really think there's a lot. I know there's a lot of quantum theory that starts delving into stuff like that. What I'd like to see people do, and I'm not going to take credit for it because it was something Crow told me ages ago, that it's just to, if you go on an investigation or you do some research, go in assuming nothing. Get the evidence first, or potential evidence. Work out what you can't explain, and then before you even start jumping to the conclusion it's a ghost or a spirit or whatever. We are unfortunately, I suppose for us, I think we're at the, we are probably, certainly, I doubt even in my lifetime much will happen to explain. This is going to be a very slow process. And when people say science can't explain it, it's because science isn't ready to explain it. That's going to take years. People didn't, invent the hot air balloon and then the day after think, oh, I know what we can do now. We can fly to the moon. Science doesn't happen like that. So we're at the baby stages. We just need to be considering more than just hauntings. Debunk the junk. Jonathan, hello. I keep looking at pictures of New Mexico, and that's your fault. Fancy seeing you here, Wayne Dawson. He gets everywhere, Jimmy. No escaping him. He only comes into my chat for a planking. Jonathan, Ned, and Mr. Murder Mittens. It's like UFO doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. I prefer UFO, by the way. I don't. UAP just doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? But you know, it doesn't mean it's not from this planet. It could be something unusual. It could even be something potentially paranormal, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily from outer space. Again, it's that presumption of what something is, and then people try and find out more rather than sort of going in. I can't remember how. I wish I could remember how Crow described it, but sort of growing in, sort of, you know, almost neutral and looking at what happens first. Like Bigfoot, they are thinking more and more that they are not from this realm and that they travel in old mining tunnels in some areas. I'd like, yes. I tell you what, I'm starting to learn about that sort of stuff. I tell you what, I'm watching a lot of at the minute is on the Discovery. You got to be careful with some of the series, but on the Discovery Channel, I am fascinated by Alaska. And one of the reasons I'm fascinated by Alaska is it's one of those hugely uncharted areas of the planet that we know very little about. And there's some really good shows on it. The only thing you've got to do is pick and choose which episodes you watch. I'm watching one at the moment, which I still need to finish, but I'll watch one at the moment, and I was really enjoying it. There was one about a potential plesiosaur in the water, and I was enjoying sort of watching that and things like that. And then they did one about local hauntings, and they introduced the show saying, we brought in 2 experts, and those 2 experts, one of them had dowsing rods and the other one had I think it was a DL60 actually. And I just thought, nah, next episode, come on, that's not expert. I suppose that's debunking community problem. But yeah, that's also what I mean, Cree, about maybe I need to find a quantum theory for dummies or something, because I would actually love to know more about the science of things like that. James smells like silk cut. You've met James. Hello, please, James. PM'd her already. I saw her. Oh, have you seen Raven? I just want to know she's okay, because I haven't been in touch with her today. Good. She's alright then. It's the main thing. Snug as a bug in a rug. I thought I would have my phone attached to me forever. Did you get that almost like sense of panic when it happened, thinking, oh no, I've now got a phone as an extra limb? Did Wade say he was God? Hang on. Sorry, I'm crying in the chat, so I'm sorry. Vast teams about going to the Appalachian Mountains where all kinds of cryptids to be said. Not saying I believe them, but why? Be interested. But people do. It would be interesting to know why. What I would like to see, and again, I'm not an expert, but over the years, in terms of things like Bigfoot and cryptids like that, and there is a reason for it. It's because it's where all the TV's made and the movies are made, and you know it's common. It tends to be a very Western thing, but there are a lot of, I don't know, I've probably said this on the channel before, but there are a lot of mythologies and stories in the Himalayas about the Yeti. And I know a lot of it's been debunked. I'm not saying the Yeti's real, but I do know people who travel to Tibet, and one of them, it has a fascination going around all the monasteries. He loves going to. He's actually an antique dealer. His wife is Chinese, and they go over there for so long, and then they come back, and he brings stuff back to sell here. But he actually loves us also as part of just his interest. He loves going to the monasteries, and he will say he'll talk to monks, he'll talk to people up in the middle of the Himalayas, in the middle of nowhere, and they'll talk about the Yeti as though it's any other creature. I would like to see more. I would like to see the rest of the planet get a look in. Actually, might be something I could be doing on my channel. Actually, I mean, I'll be doing it a little bit with Chariots of the Gods anyway, but maybe sort of bring in some of the cryptids and stories and mythologies that are in other places. And I'm not saying that to disregard the US. There's a lot of similarities, but it would just be nice to compare and contrast with some of those stories. I'm just a ghost, Sarah. I said hello, Sky. I would never ignore you on purpose. Here to cause a ruckus as usual. I don't know. Mods at the ready. Jimmy's in. Get it. Joe, hello. I'm sorry. They've got me waffling. I just think that's why teams like Twin Paranormal and Paranormal Files have so many followers. They don't just do ghosts. That is a really good point. Not saying the real deal. They're just going outside of spirit. That is a good point. And obviously there's the demon trend at the moment. I mean, Twin Paranormal, because I used to watch Twin Paranormal. I'm not ashamed to admit it. When they were a much smaller channel, gave up on them eventually, but I still miss the old Twin Paranormal. And they used to go all over, and they used to say they did. And they would be going in cave systems, they'd be going supposedly in the middle of nowhere, they'd be talking about demons, etc. Old lore. And yeah, I think they have the luxury, those channels who are faking the paranormal have the luxury to be able to take all those narratives further. And the audience loves that. They do love that. It's like fake psychics and people like that will... The paranormal deserves better than clickbait, 100%. We dig deep with real research and due diligence to separate truth from fiction. No hype, just honest investigation. And this is where we've been talking about the fake channels, for me, do the most damage. Because, again, I understand how the academic world works. You need funding to be able to start looking at this seriously in universities and research. It doesn't have to be in universities, by the way. Although I'm an ex-academic, I'm fairly anti-academic. You can do it yourself. I do it myself. But if you want the field to be taken seriously, that's one of the things that has to happen. It's why Centre for Inquiry and organisations like that are so important. But I did a video last week about Sam and Colby sort of released a board game and an escape room, and it's something I'm still trying to get my head around. But is this making it worse? Stuff like this making it worse? It's making it even more. We keep saying we want channels to say, "Oh, for entertainment purposes only," but is that taking it too far? I don't know, because when I was doing the Victorian era, even then, people would go to seances, even if they didn't particularly believe it. They just went for the entertainment. I mean, you'll get real teams who will say, they get criticised because nothing happens. Well, no, that's because it's a real investigation. Do you think I get that? But like in the Appalachian Mountains, old timers will tell stories of things they've seen and try and figure out what they actually... Yeah. And this is another reason why, I mean, my Believe in Me project's tiny. But this is why I'd like to see more and more projects like that. I mean, I know somebody who does do it. It's Dave Schrader. And he takes stories from all over the world, and sometimes two people on opposite sides of the planet will tell him the same story. They don't know each other. And there's some of the best history actually comes from word of mouth, comes by the experiences of everyday people. If you go back to the American Civil War, some of the most important documents for historians were the diaries. There's a very famous one called Mary Chestnut's diary, and she just wrote about the experience of being staying at home while her husband was gone to war, if I remember rightly. And it's seen as those sorts of diaries. There's a lot of those from the First and Second World War as well, because it's everyday people talking about their experience. It's not somebody, it's not some politician or historian trying to make a mark. It's literally just somebody writing down their thoughts. They tend to be more honest. What's harder to explain is why so many people are just willing to believe it. I think a lot of people just want to. I think there's people. I mean, I believe in the paranormal. I've had experiences, but I've always wanted an explanation. Probably the way my mind works. But I think sometimes the smallest. It's a bit like. For some people, it's a bit like religion. You only need that smallest experience to believe. Some people only need that smallest experience to believe. Try as we might, yeah. Yes, Sky, just to confirm, you are alive, sweetie. You're definitely alive. Sky, they're all dead except you. Hence the first word, unidentified. How far behind am I? Oh, 10 minutes. Awesome. Already. Sorry, it's because we're doing this. Coal mines, talked about Tommy knockers all the time. Told my dad he heard the knocks a few hours before he broke his back and eventually died from it. Yeah, there's a name for those. We have them here. But we don't call them Tommy knockers here, and I can't remember what we call them. I don't know if anybody can remember. There's a name in Cornwall especially. It's the same thing. Storytelling wasn't just for entertainment, it was survival skill. Long before science, stories helped us interpret danger, remember truths and navigate the unknown. Yeah, I mean, up until the Victorians were the ones who actively put the school system in place. So until the 1800s, most people couldn't read. So word of mouth was the way that you tell the stories, you give the warnings. I mean, a lot of fairy tales, again, they were made into fairy tales in the Victorian era because suddenly they were writing stories for children. They never used to be for children. They used to be warnings for adults. And there's a lot of elements in fairy tales that are true, that are taken from history. For example, the idea of children being sent out into the middle of nowhere to survive. I mean, that used to happen. Hansel and Gretel, etc. Snow White. So yeah, there's a lot of stories that's what they were there for. I have a craving to build a Baltic fishing sea village called Omsk. You do that, sweetie. We have Twin Paranormal, never mind the dummies. Ryan, hello. There's the one who knows way more than I do about the other stuff. I mean, I've read about stuff over the years, but there's the encyclopedia. There's Ryan. It's a spook fest. I actually did so, and the team leader had to go at detaching me by bending my finger. Oh! I cringe then, Sandra. Thing is, it's all sorts of things, and it's all sorts of possibilities. And I don't know that we're doing the paranormal any disservice to concentrate on one thing all the time. Again, that'll get me into trouble. But I agree. I also like Badger in the Wind of the Willows. Good to know. Good to know, Jimmy. Good to know that you actually read Wind of the Willows or watched it. I also found it boring. Witches, Puckwudgies, Skinwalkers, Fairies, Tommyknockers. Yeah, I mean fairies, because I did a thing on fairies last year, and an extended version is going to be going into the first magazine. The folklore history of fairies being most of the time, again up until the Victorian period, fairies were nasty little sods. You know, some really dark lore around fairies. And that's what I've been delving into. Tina, hello. When asked about them going to the Appalachian, they said Mountain Monsters isn't real. I'm not saying they're just a lot of old timers talk. There has to be. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And the Appalachians, if I'm right, this might be me watching crime shows and true crime, but the Appalachians, because they have a massively long hiking trail, don't they? A lot of people go missing, etc., in the Appalachians. I mean, yes, it'll be because of the landscape, but makes you realise how vast that mountain range is. And that's what I mean about Alaska. There's so many things on this planet that we probably don't even know are there yet. The thing about the Escape Room board game, they say it's for entertainment only. It's kind of, yeah. I mean, that's what I said in my video. I do think it's. I think what it is it's them preparing for being too old for the audience they've got. I think it's very smart of them. I do. It's making them into a commercial enterprise, not just YouTube ghost hunters. All power to them. It's a shame, you know, because they've got the money to invest in that. It's a shame, and again, I said this in the video as well, but it's a shame that we can't do more ourselves for marketing what we do. We are what we consume. That makes me a bounty hunter. When it's all entertainment, we start expecting everything, even truth before. Yeah. It's also why I think it's worth going. I mean, it's important to go backwards. I am planning bloody Kenny's beating me to it, but I am planning a Harry Houdini video. That's why I think it's and when I'm doing the Chariots of the Gods, I want to look backwards as well. Because there's a lot of fascinating topics to cover. I'm confused about the Conjuring House because I don't know if it's been definitively. Somebody can tell me if it's been definitively said. Oh, Sky's got lederhosen. That they've actually bought it. Yeah. They don't read that bit, do they? For entertainment, they don't care. I sometimes look at comments on some of these. I mean, the really extreme fake channels. And you're just looking at the comments, sort of shaking your head. There's also a dissociation with it because I looked at the comments on Huff on the same day Ozzy died. Huff put out a short. And then shortly after put out a video. And I looked in the comments and I thought, people will be having a go at him surely for doing this so quickly. At all, but so quickly. And what the first one or two had a go at him, but I recognised the names. They were from the Kadoo Monking community. Everybody else was like, oh yeah, you need to do it. I don't know, there's some dissociation between it. It's almost like, even if they believe it, it's almost like they're watching a horror movie. It's like they want to be entertained by it. People want to believe. And this is why I've always said I never want everything to be explained. I think we need mystery. I think as a species, we need mystery. We need that sense of wonder. If we were to explain everything, I think we'd be in trouble. Paranormal teams need to stop looking at the fake crap and maybe go look for real answers. It doesn't have to be paranormal, but we can't know for sure they are seeing something. So I'd like less. So I'd like more locations explored. You don't have to be going to the same ones all the time. Shows you that so many people can be gullible of paranormal teams. No, it's why it's an obvious thing to say, but it's why the debunking community is so important. Because I tell you what happened this week. Spaghetti covered a video of somebody who was camping outdoors, and Kenny covered it, and then Beardo covered it. This guy who apparently heard footsteps when he was in the woods, and Kenny debunked it, and Beardo did a video on it today. And nothing to do with that. I mean, I looked at the video and I thought, yeah, I would have, obvious what it was. I mean, it was obvious. But then I remembered back to before I was actually fully part of the debunking community. So in 2020, when I hit hard and I found the paranormal, I was watching all sorts of things. And I remember time and time again, including by debunkers, a video like that would be looked at and they would go, well, let's see what else is on the channel. Casper used to do it all the time. Let's see what else is on the channel. And it would be the only paranormal thing on the channel. And they'd go, well, they're clearly not faking it because it's the only paranormal video you've got. And I used to think, no, but the reason they're doing it is because, even then it was obvious, the reason they're doing it is it drives traffic to your channel. That's the one, you do that hoping it's a video that'll go viral and you'll get you more subs. I had an experience at work a couple of years ago, and the frustration of not being able to explain it too much. The video I'm working on at the moment is when I saw the full body apparition, and to this day, I mean, it was about 10 years ago, I still try and debunk it. I still try and debunk that particular one. And I was putting because I've done a map for it. And when I was creating the map of the building, layout of the building, I was still looking at it thinking, oh, it could have been there, it could have been. And I know I can't, because I've thought about it time and time again. I've witnessed things I say 100% paranormal, but some of the stuff is easy to fake on YouTube. I don't know how some of these easy to see fake paranormal get so big. I've always thought the same way, Ryan, and it's like, because out of fascination, because I was watching Casper at the time, I did Delaney and Ben. I didn't believe them, by the way. But I just used to look at it thinking, why are people buying into this? And this is before the debunking community kind of got bigger. Why do people believe in this? I couldn't understand how people could be so gullible when it was so flaming obvious half the time. I also felt like that with Carmel Main and Mindseed as well. It's like, come on. And some of the top 5 stuff, come on, yeah. Funny thing is, everyone talks how expensive a location is. Woods and caves are typically free. My county, I so wish. Well, one, I wish I still had a car. That won't be till next year. And I wish my health was better, because there are so many locations here you can go to for nothing. Literally dozens. And they all go to fucking Chillingham. I bought a few Barbies from the op shop. Of course, yeah, he's probably used to your Sky. Beliefs can be rigid and dangerous. Ideas, on the other hand, are flexible, meant to be explored, not enforced. Exactly. And one thing I like, I sometimes I'm at loggerheads with Kenny, but one thing I love that Kenny said recently on the never stop learning, I always saw it as Kenny sort of wagging his finger going never stop learning to everybody else. But he actually, I can't remember which live it was, but he actually said, you know, every time he sort of debunks something or find something out through research, he's aware that there's a whole lot more to, which is the way research works. There's a whole lot more to explore, and it was about him as well. And I love that he said that. Anyone can put strings on a cabinet chair and move it. And yeah, and that's the other problem, Ryan, isn't it? Is I can, some of the stuff that I can't explain. I think I've only seen it once. I've seen something move, could not possibly be explained because it was a hammer that was flat on top of a toolbox and literally flew off. That could be faked. Could also be real. So, you know, when people are faking, you get real channels who get it all the time. Something actually does happen that they're trying to debunk, and people go, "Oh, you're faking now," because something's actually happened. People believe because they have unexplained experience. Many want validation of it. That's another one. Validation. Because I would imagine that there would be a lot of people who would have an experience that they just want somebody to explain it. Because either they can't handle it or they don't want to know they're not going crazy. Actually, this is another story I'm going to be telling, but my best friend, this is about 20 years ago, over 20 years ago now. She was living in this little terrace cottage. Long story short, she was very ill. She was on a lot of meds. And she kept having experiences in the house. She never told me. And then one night I'm sitting with her and we're watching TV and the TV's on very low. And I hear a baby crying. I think it's coming from the TV. But we weren't listening to the TV. The volume was on low, but we were talking to each other, but looking at the TV at the same time. And I was like, that couple have walked through every room in that house. Where's the baby in that house? And she just looked at me and she went, "Oh my God, you heard it too." I went, "Yeah, but there's no baby in that." She says, "Sarah, it wasn't on the telly." And she told me the whole story about hearing this baby cry in the house. And she was so relieved that somebody else had heard it. So relieved. She didn't mind the fact she was hearing it. Kelly, hello. Thank you for welcoming Kelly. They didn't know the megalodon was real until they found the tooth fossils and stuff. You don't know unless you look. Actually, the thing, I can't remember the date, but I think it was in the Victorian period. They started finding dinosaur skeletons. Now, they did find individual bones before then. In the 1700s, they were very much collectible items, but they never found a full skeleton. I mean, so we're only in the last 200 years we've even been aware that dinosaurs existed. End of shift, resident were in bed, absolutely no one around. Cleaning lodge from behind me to my left. I heard a soft whisper say, "Psst, come here," freaked me out. Yeah, I've had something, a voice in the ear. Didn't say anything, but it was an audio voice. People believe in gravity only because nobody has proved that gravity is not or does not do what they say it does. Wiz, I've had no sleep. That really confused me. If fakers make money for faking on purpose, why can't someone who thinks they have real footage make money too? I think that a lot of people, well, there's two things in terms of YouTube. A lot of people who do real investigations won't go on YouTube because of the stigma. But also, what's the first thing that happens? People call it fake. Always happens. Yeah, I knew Ryan had saved me. Actually, science is saying gravity is an magnetic effect now. I saw them talking about. I was like, what the fuck? Editing and cheekbones. What? Oh yeah. That would have freaked me out too. Similar things would happen in the nursing home I worked in. I would love to get more stories about people who sort of work in nursing homes and hospitals and things. Sky was told a told hood. John Stupp, hello, how we doing? Brownies were pretty cruel. Yeah, a lot of different names from brownies, pixies, fae. That's the other thing is the fairies etc. all get clumped into one name now. Fairies. It's a bit like ghosts get clumped into one name of sort of ghosts. That's what I mean. It's like it's all sorts of different things can be. I tell you, I went into tunnel vision trying to explain. It frustrates me not knowing. Yeah, I think that's why. Even ever since I was a kid, I've always believed that a lot of things would be explained. It's just not knowing. I want to get back over to the Appalachian Mountains, but going up the Bridgewater Triangle next week would be nice to get back in my home area. You've been out and about a lot, Ryan. It's been awesome. One of the most viewed videos Twin Paranormal gets is a corn maze during Halloween. Gone there 4 years in a row, and that's little to do with ghosts. I think Twin Paranormal now are like Sam and Colby. You know, a lot of their viewers, even if whether they believe or not, are watching for Twin Paranormal. They're not watching for the Ghost Hunter. I think that more applies to Sam and Colby, but I still think it applies to Twin Paranormal to a certain extent. Cree, I have witnessed numerous residents that are at the end of life reach out to the ceiling. Really? Plant shiny angelica supposed to attract fairies. There's a few things. I mean, I've spent time in Southern Ireland, and there's places there that trees and little areas are actually protected because they're seen as belonging to them. Probably Scotland as well, actually. Don't know if it happens in the UK, in England. No amount of evidence will convince an idiot. Yeah. I also think on that side, there are people who don't want to believe. I mean, seriously don't want to believe. So I'm not talking about somebody who's just a skeptic and just wants the proof, like Kenny Ilseg or Mr. Gray. I'm talking about people who staunchly don't want to believe. You could levitate in front of them and they would look for an explanation as to how you faked it. Because I think some people can't handle the possibility that some of this stuff could actually be real. I'm so far behind. I'm sorry. I'm really getting to seg standards. I'm sorry. Standard being not a good word. Grandmother and mother passed. They were talking to. Sorry. Look. It was the nickname of my mom's brother who died in the Korean War, and Mom said the day she would die and did. Smug Puppy put for entertainment only, and the people were begging him to bring in the priest. It's like bloody Lee. People praying for him. Pam, hello. Hope you're still here. I find the comment sections fascinating. It says a lot about how people view the paranormal. I might do a video on that. I'm just crowing the chat a little bit. I got footsteps at Fort Monroe. No one on it. It walked up to me. I even went and looked round. It was on a live debunkers. How about it? Still can't. Don't debunkers. Still can't explain it. I've heard footsteps. Well, there was nobody. I think obvious tricks are missed by debunkers over analysing things. Yeah, I do think what's that phrase at Occam's razor? Sometimes the most obvious is that's one of the things I do like about Kenny. He will look at the obvious side of things. Obvious as in it's not always editing techniques. It's not always post production. You know, so you still get people like Crow and Shape actually. Who else? Who will actually sometimes Mythos, who will still look for the old school techniques before before looking at the editing. I'm not saying you shouldn't be looking at the editing because that's a separate skill. And one of my arguments is, especially when you're looking at older videos, there's a video that a lot of the debunkers are trying to do, and it's Crow's been trying for ages, and a lot of people have looked at it. It's oh crap, Crow, you lurking? Tell me who it is. Oh, the name's gone out of my head, but it's a Mosaji, I think. And there's two, I think it's EMF readers on a chair. And you know, so many different theories have come up about, and one of them moves, and so many different theories have come up, and I sort of look, because it's about 5 years old, this video, and my attitude is, it's Mosaji, you know, do you really think he's going to do anything complicated? Like, oh, in the house. Really haunted once before I saw a debunk. Stupid broom dance from one side of the room to the other. Oh my god, that's worse than a B movie. And I found out people, yeah, bloody portals on his wall and hovering vacuum cleaners. Like, oh, don't forget to drink water. That you legend, thank you so much. I've still not paid for location, maybe parking, but yeah, still 7 years free ghost hunts. That's because you go out and about and you go to different locations. You don't just stick to the same thing, and you also probably have a wider range of interests than a lot. And now AI and editing software is making it easier to hide. Yeah, it is. Native Americans have a great many beliefs shared. I hear teams saying they are not right on the belief system. What they're talking, they don't bother looking though. Cray. They're not interested in actually checking what they're saying. Sorry, I'm crowing the chat a little bit because I've caught up a little bit. What about those videos that's seen in CCTVs? Are they fake too? A lot of them are. Also, the CCTV ones, a lot of them will get debunked because I can't use the technical speak, but the frame rate and the quality of most CCTV cameras is very, very poor. So when you see these videos where it looks as though there's a ghost walking down the street, that somebody's transparent, or they appear and disappear, they're not. It's just that it's what we call a potato camera. On a lot of people call a potato cam. It just doesn't have high enough resolution, especially at night, and to capture all the detail. So it looks as though people are sort of appearing and disappearing, or it looks as though they're transparent. It's just that is literally the poor quality camera. AB Stevie, how we doing? I have your Aussie podcast on my watch list. I have to say, I mean, I was sad and shocked and everything last week, but I cried my eyes out procession today. That really got to me for some reason. It's when they got out and laid the black roses. Admitting you've been wrong and conned is hard enough, let alone admitting to the other side you were wrong. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there have been instances. I think Beardo's caught one of them, where, you know, obviously people send in their videos to top 5 channels, or they'll get them from other places, and then they will they'll do further editing themselves. They have been, 1 or 2 of them have been caught for that. I lost my blouse in the morgue too. Oh no! Hate it when that happens. Damn it, James. That's the last time I buy you a blouse. You should look after your prezzies. I've definitely had some stuff in my investigations. I'm freaking out, probably for just a squirrel. Yeah, but you go out into nature a lot, don't you? You don't just sort of go into buildings. Tina gonna lurk, not feeling well, summer cold. I think yeah, there's a lot of that. Thank you for being here, sweetie. Good to see you. It's scary in the woods at night alone. Oh yeah, I'm not arguing with that one. I had a this wasn't to do with ghost hunting or anything, but I have a secret spot about 8 miles away from here. That's middle of nowhere. Hardly anybody knows it's there, and it's up a hill, but it overlooks our main range of hills. And I used to go up there because that valley has very, very little artificial light. So I used to go up there doing night sky photography. Now, what I usually used to do is I used to go and I used to photograph the sunset, and then you have to wait about 2 hours for the stars to come out. Get amazing skies. And I could sit there quite happily, and while the sun went down and it got dark, I had no problems with being up there. But occasionally I think, well, it's dark now. Shall I go up there? And I couldn't go up there in the dark. I couldn't actually go up there in the dark. I had to literally be there all the time. It's almost like that old thing that if you put a frog into, what is it? If you put a frog into cold water and heat the water up, the frog doesn't move, but if you try and drop it into hot water, it'll leap out. It's the same thing. I'm talking bollocks. I've had no sleep. To admit, at some point of our lives, we used to experience paranormal and we can't debunk it. Yeah. There's 4 or 5 big instances I can't explain. And I've tried. I have very definitely tried. Look at that, obviously. Oh, it's YouTube baby for baby Stevie. Thank you so much, Stevie. Really appreciate it. Jethro, hello. Good to see you. I don't watch many big paranormal people, maybe Casper Site, but all the others I watch are smaller investigating teams or cryptid and animal research. Forrest Galantier is an animal expert I watch. Really? I actually, in 2020, because we're in lockdown, that's when I hit YouTube. And what I started watching was the reaction channels. That's how I found Casper Site. And I watched 2 or 3 others as well. And they were reacting to top 5s mainly. That's how I kind of started watching the paranormal on YouTube. It was actually through Casper Site I found Mr. Grey. And then in turn, Beardo. I agree, sir. There's just people who just dismiss everything. Yeah. And you know, it's still, it can, some people still sort of think it would. It's like people say, if I say I'm a YouTuber, and like, what's your YouTube channel about? I'll say the paranormal. That has different reactions. I still think proving the paranormal, the supernatural, would destroy the world in a religious war. That is one of the problems with proving the paranormal. I actually think there's a lot of similarity with faith that some people have in the paranormal. It is because it is a faith, because it has never been definitively proved. I mean, yes, a lot of us have had experiences that we're like, no, there's something going on here. But yeah. And if you're a conspiracy theorist, which I'm not really, but it's you know, if stuff is being kept back and they know more than what they're telling us, that's probably why. They think people can't handle it. I think you can be far too skeptical and will always look for a reason it can't be, and they will find it because all they have to say is it's overlaid. Just refuse to say what it is. I don't know what it is. Nothing wrong with saying I don't know what it is. Kind of the point. You could say it might be this, but Sarah, you will see this in 15 minutes. Oh my god, how far behind am I? I'm 10. I'm crowing a little bit. Some people are fundamentally incapable of understanding outside the reality that exists in the present. Not judging, just observing, yeah. But it is a bit of a head twister though, isn't it, if you start thinking about it too much. I mean, I've done that since I was a kid. I really have done that as a kid. I sort of looking up at the night sky and thinking, how far does that go? And then trying to sort of get your head wrapped around the fact that something can go on forever. It's mindfuck. Got a pretty good story once I heard Ozzy passed away. I ordered an autographed gold record, Speak of the Devil framed, and it just showed up today. I'm on it on the day of his funeral. Oh, that's nice. I did cry at the procession. When they got out, when the family got out and laid the roses, I just found myself just let go. I love the skeptical people. It's good to have others to look at the stuff you catch, even if they don't believe. That's okay. You know what happened on some paranormal experiences actually some seem natural. Yeah. I must admit, none of my big experiences at the time of having it was I frightened. Creeped out afterwards. But yeah, it's more, oh, what was that about, you know, rather than, oh my god, I'm starving, who has food beside Crow? Crow's got all the food. It's bikini season for everybody, men and women. Crow's got all the food. When I heard Ozzy passed, I put on Paranoid by Black Sabbath at work. I just posted on Discord. Oh, I think it's a very smart move by Sam and Colby, because they haven't, I said it in the video, but they haven't waited until they hit that crisis point. I mean, they could have another 5 or 10 years going the way they're going. But they have literally thought about the fact, I think they've thought about the fact, because of the age of their audience, they can't keep going forever. This is a very smart move on their part. Don't blame them. 10 months, Jack, though. Rock on indeed. Sarah's pulling a seg. I know. Hope Crow's not looking. They're announcing it tonight, the venue they bought. Oh, right, okay. I'd be putting that money into stocks. I think they've got good business sense, or they've got somebody advising them with good business sense. It's more likely. It's amazing. Sorry, no, I thought I was gonna sneeze. It's amazing how people find ways to fake on any technology so creative. Yeah, I mean, my next video, because you lot voted for it, is about old pre-digital photography, the original cameras, and some of the fake paranormal photographs that were famous for a long, long time before they were debunked. I mean, as soon as the camera was invented, that's what a lot of fake psychics used to prove, that they were psychic and that they could summon spirits. The technology was used right from the get-go. And the reason they got away with it, kind of the reason they get away with the AI and the editing now, is because the reason they got away with it because at the time photography had just been invented and people didn't understand how it worked. There were court cases that people like Barnum and Houdini took part in to prove that these things were being faked. I do not watch any of the top. I don't any. Actually, I didn't watch them. I used to watch people react to them. Sky, you are a legend as always. Lovely Sky. I sent him my video of potato to Nukes and never heard anything back. How rude of him, Mike. How rude. It's probably only 1 out of 10,000 vids you'll see something paranormal or more. Seen a few that are extremely hard to explain over the... Yeah, I've seen some that are extremely hard to explain. That's the problem with so much fakery being out there. It gets drowned out. It's Julianne in. Hey, Julie. Crying the chats. Hi, Pomp. Sleep well. It's more scary in the woods alone when you realise you are not alone. Yeah. That's more the... I still say it's scarier to think of humans being out there than anything paranormal. Sorry. Way more scary. It's why the idea of living in the middle of nowhere, I love the idea of that. Just absolutely love the idea of that. I don't mean like I live in the middle of nowhere now. I mean literally the only house for miles. But yeah, my imagination would get the better of me. One little creek. So cool, secret spot. I've got a few, yeah. I never tell the tourists where it is. Astrophotography is fun. Yeah, I was up there to practice. It was amazing up there. The only trouble with here is you had to have a clear night, which isn't that very often. Sure, viewers getting ready for work. Will be lurking, not a problem. Air Force in the house. Hello, R.I.P. Aussie, absolutely. Hello, it's 3 a.m. I'm in my default lurk mode. I'm surprised I'm still awake. I'm actually alright. I must be overtired. God, I'll sleep today. Bye-bye Thursday. That ain't happening. Alexis Artemis Greenhound the First. How are you? Good to see you. I mostly watch Casper Sight because he makes me laugh. He was on about it must have been when he first started doing the paranormal. He was on about 14,000 subscribers when I watched him, and that guy grew quickly. It was almost every week he'd say, "Oh, I've hit 20, I've hit 25, I've hit 30." But eventually, I didn't watch him so much because he just got a bit too loud and for me. But I am still subscribed. And if I'm interested in a video, I will still watch. But he was the first person I ever actually paid for a membership for, I think. So I found Beardo on an algorithm from watching all the fake channels. I found Beardo through. Can't remember specifically which one it was, but it was either Ben or Mr. Gray, and it was the whole Laney and Ben thing was the reason I found Beardo. Crow in the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Still 10 minutes behind. Yeah, I think I'm a bit longer than that. I'm trying to think when it was. Because 2 years was when he shouted. It's 2 years since I've been a sub to Crow, because it was Beardo that shouted him out. So it's probably about 3.5. Crow told me about Beardo about 4 years ago, and the same time I found Paul. Was it 4 years? God, is it 4 years? Probably is. That's Crow's fault. Let's blame Crow. I found out there was an ocean under voids the other day. I was right my whole life. The oceans fascinate me. Absolutely fascinate me. Sorry, I am crowing. Pinky says, I believe I'm always learning. I do believe in the paranormal due to personal experiences. Exactly. And it's why those voices need to be heard. The problem is I've seen teams that everybody trusts and suddenly they capture something and it's like, oh, it must be fake. Pam, the cable TV channel has made quite a mockery of the paranormal ghost cryptids. Yeah. It's a bit like the example of the Alaska series. I do like that Alaska series, but I did skip the ghost one because I thought, no, you're bringing in an expert and they're using dowsing rods. That ain't an expert. So, yeah, sometimes being part of the debunking community can sort of knacker your enjoyment of some of these things. But for me, they're a good starting point. It's like I say, I am interested in the area in Alaska, so it's a good starting point for me to get subjects and locations, etc., and then look at it myself. Skeptics and debunkers are needed, and if a channel isn't faking, they shouldn't have a no. I think I've done another video on that as well. Nobody's above being analysed. Flip side is being too skeptical. Yeah. You need to be open to the possibility. I saw that this afternoon that he'd passed away. Pinky, you are a star. Thank you so much. I thought I'd highlighted that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Legend. Casper's like, Ben loves his UFOs, Ryan. So if he's still here, that he probably will. Paul Day, yeah, he did. Passed away today. I think there should be more that is dismissed as pareidolia than really should be. Oh, I mean, one of my other stories is I've seen a shadow figure clear as fucking day. Clear as day. It wasn't dark either. Not pareidolia. I love Casper Sykes' energy. It's a bit too bouncy for me these days. But I do still. I mean, I do still like Penn. I found Beardo when he did a video on one of the fakers, and now I don't watch them anymore. Those twins had me hooked in. They were alright before they really started doing the whole dude bro and hyperactive bit. I mean, you know, I'm not saying they were legit or anything, but I didn't mind watching them. I actually, if they were still like that, I'd probably still watch the odd one, even knowing they're fake. But they're just too much for me now. I got so hyper. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm a certainly believe in the afterlife. Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, I've seen my dad, so I do as well. So, Laura, hey, how we doing? Good to see you. Hang on, chat's just jumped on me. At least I've got chat today. Not having to work in the YouTube. Don't know what happened on Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it was. I hear that Crow's not very well. Crow's got COVID, so he's got a community post out that he's going to take a week out just to try and rest up. Hopefully he will actually do that, but yeah, he's just taking a break. It's been one thing after another for him, and now suddenly, you know, just getting over the cellulitis that he was talking about, and now he's suddenly COVID. Like Paranormal Quest, Adelaide Haunted Horizons, and Paranormal Encounters, they are my top 3 paranormal investigating channels. If you haven't checked them, they're just starting out, but we're big supporters of APRF here. They're using different techniques in their investigations. Crow did a video on them. I think he also had them on a live. They had them on the live. They're going to be doing a podcast with me at some point. I must get in touch with them about that, actually. They've agreed to do a podcast. But yes, Adelaide. Love the ladies. Don't forget Joe Vitale. Yeah, if you just do a Booyah live, that's why people are often moaning at Crow, by the way. It's because he does Booyah lives. Just, I'm going to go live. Boom. It does not notify properly. I got a notification for Flurio's live when she'd finished. I've been watching Barry Stepp. He has a very good view on some of the paranormal. He is level-headed on some stuff. It's just fake. He'll just say it. Just what you need. Sandra Pucci. Just in case you wanted to purchase. Sneaky Sandra. Yes, it will default you from a planking. Doesn't mean I won't use the drop bear though. I've only ever seen one of Sam and Colby vids. I never used to watching them, but for me, with Sam and Colby, it has to just be Sam and Colby. The people they take along with them, that's when they get. I'm not eating anything. This is me mumbling because I haven't slept. I'm literally not eating anything. I do watch Trim Paranormal, Paranormal Files, and a few others. I also know they're not legit, but I find them funny. That's what I mean. I'd probably still watch Twin Paranormal if they were like they used to be. Adelaide Haunted Horizons, Paranormal Quest, Joe Vitale, and Debunkers as well. You can enjoy both. Alexis Artemis Greenhound, the first, thank you so much for the gifted membership. You treasure. How am I doing? Oh, only 3 minutes behind. Take that, Sag. I think the problem I'm having is that paranormal is not being done as much as drama and controversy. That's when I watch Fresh Spawns. Look at it like this. They said no such thing as a kraken or a giant sea monster, then boom, giant squid caught. Yeah, and exactly. It's like things like the dinosaurs. Relatively modern discovery. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. You little treasure. I'm not eating a cookie. I'm not eating anything. Sending Crow love. Yeah. He needs to rest. Put hearts and hot dogs for Crow in the chat. What kind of cookie are you not eating, Sky? I want cookies now. Shush. Male hot dogs for Crow. I won't go that far. I watch every single Twin Paranormal episode with the hopes that something actual paranormal happens to them. Probably wouldn't bloody notice. It's too busy bouncing around. Oh, Pinky. Preaching to the choir. Hot dogs for Crow, and for the first in 1 hour 27 minutes, I'm at the bottom of the chat. Oh, I was. Crow needs a hot toddy. He needs some rest. Get himself better. I can't stop eating these shortbread. Oh, shortbread's always addictive. Thank you, Caroline. I've earned that ding, ding, ding. Well, maybe I haven't earned it. I have to eat some cookies. Leanne, hello. Can I have some cookies? I've got about 4 chocolate digestives left, and that's it. Downstairs is such a long way to go. How long have I been going? What I am going to do is I'm going to make myself a coffee. So I'm going to put an intermission video on. Let's have a light-hearted one today. For a second. Where is he? Where's Jamie? Right. Back in a minute, guys. Making coffee.
Hang your head in shame, be ashamed. This is not a silly game, no game. Throw insults, throw blame. Face red. It's just for clicks and views and fame. Name. This toxic community of ours, shameful, misuses views and powers. Shameful. From Sean and Mid to Mr. Mittens, Boo. To Crow of Judah saving kittens. True. Spiders caught by side-eye guy. Live out their lives when back outside. May make lots of noise. John's 2 hits of the Backstreet Boys. What else can I say? We all are here to stay. When toxic rocks it with love and care. Hearts and hot dogs everywhere. Nothing but a search for truth. Expose the fake and show the proof. Mythos knows it's all at stake. He knows when he tells the world it's really fake. It shows. Jeff cooks up a mighty hit. Oh yeah. By telling peeps to buy his shit. You get Mr. Gray is it's all at stake. We all are here to stay. When toxic rocks it with love and care, hearts and hot dogs everywhere. Nothing but a search for truth. Expose the fake and shovel the proof.
Drums can't be. I agree. Drums can't be AI. Nothing should be AI. I mean, I write AI music. Well, create AI music, but no, you can tell when drums are AI. I pick up on that more than anything. Actually, I've always picked up on drum beats too much in a way, in a sense. Jethro away. Bye, sweetie. That was a great song. Thank you, Wiz. Yes, that's the only trouble is that one, earworms, that'll be in my head now. So yeah. There's it's funny. I mean, you know the story. I was going to learn the drums 20 years ago, and then hurt my hand. I do want to learn them. I wish I'd have learned them a lot younger when I was doing when I was a musician and doing piano and guitar and everything. But I've always had a sensitive ear when it comes to timing. For me, drumming, you need that personal touch. You need those flurries that make drumming unique. AI is not going to create. It's not going to create it with anything, but AI is not going to create that. No, sweetie. That's my intermission. I put an intermission video on when I'm on my own because if I boil the kettle while I'm still on air, it sounds like a plane taking off to you guys. Do you have an espresso? Or do you make coffee with brown? I actually in here I've just got in the desk. I've just got a kettle, but I want to get a proper crap. What do you call them? What's it machine? The put your pods in. Got the proper stuff downstairs, but not up here. No apologies for being lurky turkey cat. No apologies. Real drums electronic. They'll have to be electronic. I did have a real drum. A friend had given me a drum kit. A friend of mine's a drummer, and he bought a new set of drums. So he actually gave me his practice kit. And about a month or two later, that's when I knackered my left hand. So it never happened. I would rather have a real drum kit. Obviously, I think most people would, but it would have to be an electronic one to not annoy the neighbours. Crow's going to help me with make. Catherine Morgan, hello. Wait for it. I ordered tarot cards. I'll be learning them for fun this summer. I can read tarot cards. I learned when I was a teenager. I actually still collect them because there's some beautiful decks out there. I'm actually creating a deck myself. Don't believe in tarot cards, by the way. I just love the artwork on it. Everything's about artwork with me, the visuals. They are a useful tool, though. I am going to give tarot cards credit for that. They can actually get your thoughts straight. My only talent is drawing. I'm not a good singer. Pinky's doing some great stuff. I love the darkness in the mashup between innocent subjects and darkness. My first drum kit was a Roland Boss. Oh no, I've thought Cat's coming not saying anything. Cat spell, white chalk cat spell in the house. Lulled me into a false sense of security, you did. My best friend was was really into runes and numerology. I have to say, it was they are interesting topics. That's the thing. Anything like that is an interesting topic, and where the roots come from, and things like runes used for hundreds, if not thousands, of years in one way or another. So it's all part and parcel with where the paranormal comes from. The tarot cards. I may do once. I might do it on the art channel because I am creating a deck. I'm only doing at the moment the Major Arcana, but the Major Arcana does actually tell a story. The sequence of cards is actually a story, so I may actually cover that at some point. I might wait till I've done all of them and use those to tell it. I have a drum kit here and can play it a little bit. My 17-year-old is a great pianist. He can also tune a piano perfectly. That's the thing with a piano. You've got to pay somebody to tune it. That's awesome. I miss my piano. That's the other thing I need to get. It'll have to be a keyboard. I can't cope with a full-on piano now. But I miss my piano the most. I prefer my meditation cards personally. I can read tarot and then need to do the exact opposite every time. Yeah. I'll make you proud, says Sky. Oh, my name's not Harold. There you go. That's way too high. Just saying. I don't like taking. I do have a blood pressure machine. I don't like taking blood. It hurts. I've got a little blood oxygen monitor though that also takes heart rate, so I check that way. I don't mention Tim Tams. I haven't got any. Not sure if I just. I hope they've helped to get that blood pressure down. That's not good. My son has a YouTube channel, but he has felt discouraged since he hasn't got a lot of followers. Takes time. I mean, I've had this channel since 2019, but you know the story. I didn't do anything with it because of Dad falling ill. But it takes time. Just putting it out there. I have to do blood work. Yeah, having to find out what's going wrong. Well, hopefully they'll sort it, sweetie. It should be considered proof you could do some of the psychic tests and get every single one wrong. Defies probability. Yeah, tell him not to be discouraged. I mean, you get big channels, you know, that... I mean, we were talking earlier about Caspersight, and Caspersight's been going for... I think it was at least 2 years on his channel. He was a gaming channel. And he just happened to decide to do some paranormal reactions, and that's what blew his channel up. He'd been plodding away. Beardo's the same thing, you know, it's... you sort of look at channels now and what they're at now, but everybody was on one subscriber at some point, as I told Danny Moss. One of the mods can put his link in the chat if you want. Get with some subscribers, make me feel better. My shortbread has sprinkles on them. No, stop it! Stop it. But they checked with the second monitor. Did they give you a way of monitoring it yourself at home? That's what they did with Dad. Oh, I think he bought one. Sky says, I do love little Catherine with her cat spell sweater. I must make more. Is this your sock puppet? I'm eating homemade chicken casserole. Oh, stop it, guys. Honestly. I had chicken, sweet and sour chicken for dinner. It was yummy. Want more, though. Use the drumsticks as dowsing rods. You'll be a medium. His channel is called The Boy with the Blue Piano. Awesome name. I'm out of Tim Tams at the moment. Yeah, if one of the mods can find it, happily to put the link in the chat. Still waiting for my doll. Your doll. Is this from Sky? I'm out of Tim Tams at the moment. Me too. Chicken casserole hits different in the south. I usually do paprika for chicken casserole. I can't do spicy stuff when it's for both of us. Didn't I show you cat spell? Sky, you're slacking. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'll call you Harold. Just make sure I haven't missed anything. No, I'm fine. Leanne has Tim Tams. They're okay. Not sure I thought. I love the Tim Tams. I thought they were yummy. He called it the pianist with the blue. It is now, apparently. Sub from Catherine. Do you know, I'd be glad when summer's over, apart from the heat. Blooming midges. I'm sick of being bitten. They're horrid. Give me a couple of months, I'll be complaining it's too cold. It's really okay. Yeah, somebody has seen her today. I can't remember who it was, but because I was concerned. But apparently she has been about, so. There are deluxe Tim Tams? What? Thank you, Mike. Treasure. Mike's found it. Yeah. Because I haven't messaged her today, so I hadn't seen her in any lives, but somebody did see her in something. It's been all quiet on the Raven front. There you go. Yeah, Mike's a treasure. He's been helping me with technical difficulties today. Let's see if I can find that link. There you go. Oh, he's got 383 subscribers. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let me just find that link again. I'll pin it. There you go. Pinned it to the top of the chat. So anybody else comes in, we'll remind them. Hang on. Supporting the kid. Yeah, I got to support the kids. There's ASTSB excited to get some followers. Actually, I don't think I clicked subscribe. There you go. One more. Sorry, I missed a step away to get dinner. The link's at the top of the chat. So, I pinned it. 387, so he's got another 4. We'll, what I'll do, sweetie, is in this week's lives, we'll pin it again. See if we can get him over the 400. Those milestones mean everything. They mean everything. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you've got. Phil is so close to 500. His wiener washer one's been doing really well. What's Phil on? Because we could get Phil's link in the chat if anybody's not. Where is he? Just want to see how many subs he's got. I think he put something out yesterday or the day before. Because he's not well at the moment, which is why he's not around much. But he's... Can't see him. Where is he? Stay tuned. 490. Oh wow. Yeah, it's not far off. If it hasn't been done already, because somebody put Phil's link in the chat, we'll push Phil's as well. So try and get him over that 500. Yeah, 490. Heading off to bed. Night, John. Thank you for being here. Phil, who not to be rude. Stay tuned, CC. Phil's often on the live with me, but he hasn't been around for a couple of weeks because he's also been poorly. I think he was still working, but he won't give him time off. He ended up in hospital at the weekend. So there's Phil's link. Another music maker. Already subbed to Phil. Yeah, a lot of people will be subbed to Phil, but there might be 1 or 2 people that haven't, so just give him that little push. We love Philly Willy. Actually, he's not here, so to remind everybody, let's find him.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow.
Poor Phil, working in those conditions when you say, yeah, he's been having a really tough time of it because obviously in the summer he works in a blazing hot environment. Of course, in the summer when it's blazing hot outside, he's getting no relief from it. I send him some love and funny photos. Yeah. I think it's finally caught up with him. He's been really tired and struggling for a while. because of all the heat. So I think it just finally caught up to him at the weekend. So, in case anybody's wondering, we haven't fallen out or anything. He's just resting up. Hearts for Phil. Let's see if over the next few days we can get him over that 500 mark. That would be awesome. Yeah, he was saying yesterday, the day before, that he did a song called was it Mr. Wiggles Wiener Washer? Did it last year sometime, and it suddenly had another resurgence. Love for Phil. He's my very favourite Philip in the whole wide world, says Sky. Me too. Me too. Don't forget Wiz as well. I'm assuming most people are sub to Wiz here, but just in case. It'd be awesome because Wiz has gone over the 400. I need to try and get these shared out. I'll share them out again as well on the Saturday live, because I tend to get quite a few in on the Saturday. So you can get some newbies over. Yeah, they've both written songs for several people in the community. I mean, the main one, my main theme song, which I'm obviously not using at the moment, but it's the one that's used for my wrestling character. I think I've got a match next bout. Can't remember who it's with though. Oh, it might be me and Raven against CRL and is it one on Elise CRL? I can't remember. Want the last Tim time? Yeah, I want the last Tim time. I'm missing it. Do we have Phil's link? I'm sorry, we must have missed it. Can somebody post Phil's link again, please? That's the trouble with chat. Unless you pin to the top, and you can only pin one. That's why people overestimate how much links in chat can make a difference, because you've literally got to catch it at the time. Have it because you're awesome. Right, fine. So how is our white chocolate loving Sarah today? White chocolate hating Sarah is overtired. I am actually awake, but I didn't actually get a sleep before tonight's live. What time is it? Nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. Thanks, Mike. Stay tuned, CC, if you put it in the search. And Wisdom has changed his name to Wisdom Music, which has made it way easier to find. Actually, what I'll do... Actually, people won't come back to the live. I think what I'll do is I'll put out a community post with some links, and I'll also put some sharing out on Facebook as well. Awesome. Can't put it all on Wisdom. 5 a.m. for Alexis. Lovely Mike doing his duties. That's Phil. Oh, he's gained a couple. That's not StreamYard, that's StreamYard. Yes, sir, but YouTube keeps unsubbing me from Wisdom. I just had to resub for the 3rd time. It's doing it to a lot. It's why I keep saying to especially smaller channels, you notice if you drop 1 or 2 subs. And often it's just YouTube unsubbing. I often find out if I'm going to find a link, and I suddenly think, why, where's it in my list? And I've been unsubbed. Hearts in chat for Sky because we love her. We do. We love Sky. Right, guys, I'm going to take it up to the 2 hours. So let's get those hearts in the chat for Sky. I reset my reminders on the channels I frequently watch. It is worth doing that. It is worth sort of unclicking the notification bell and clicking it again. It can also help with your notifications, by the way. Now he's going to buy a new mic because he broke this one. He says he'll make it, then he'll make a new vid. Awesome. Let's see what the situation is. 392. Guys, you are awesome. Thank you for helping with that. That's a nice little boost for thank you, son. Hang on. Crow the chat. There we go. Get those hearts from Mike. Love you, Guts. Sky is our sunshine. Sky's always been our sunshine. She's a treasure. Right, guys, so I'll be live as normal on Saturday. I still want to do a members live, so there might be a Booyah live from me at some point. The Sunday roast I put out on Sunday, I did on spur of the moment. I am working day to day on it this week, so it will be longer and incorporate everything. I'm noting things down as they happen this week. So I also I really want to try and find a way of being able to do my art streams again. But yeah, keep an eye on Patreon, on members, on my art channel for updates, because I am really getting going with the artwork now. And I'm working on that fake photography video as well. So I still love coming in for Sky. We'll pop another promotion on Saturday for the boy if he's not over the 400. So thank you, guys. Can't believe I've got through 2 hours when I haven't slept. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a really good live. I enjoyed it today. Bit of everything. We were waiting to surprise Sarah for the roast. Yeah, that will be a weekly thing on a Sunday. The Sunday roast, looking at the events of the week behind. Hopefully this week I won't have Joe Vitale in my comments saying, "No, you missed this bit. I did this." That's going to happen every week. Well, you haven't mentioned me. Thank you for the video tonight. Much love. You're welcome. Right, guys, I'm going to do an awkward ending. So, toodles.